let's just try and give a couple of value things here. Now, if you speak to 10 chiropractors, sorry, and you ask them, how do things go with Facebook ads?
Yeah.
I would probably say 8 of them will say horribly. Okay, or that it's expensive, or it's bad leads, or they don't show up, or whatever. So if just in a couple of minutes, the chiropractor in the street, how's he going to get things done with Facebook?
Yeah, listen, we absolutely milk it on Facebook. I cannot understand. So there's two things here. Of course, certain different markets have different outcomes. Very, very, very important to mention. There are certain markets that are very saturated, and then there are certain markets like, for example, we have such a variety of practices. We've got practices in Spain, and we've got practices in the US and Canada, and then UK and Scotland, etc. And it really does change depending on where you are. You would, for example, in Spain, it's you. I mean, if you're watching this right now, and you're going to want to strangle me through the screen, because my Spanish docs get leads for $1 or $2, like literally, it's insane. I mean, I'm talking about 150 leads in 7 days. So okay, the idea that Facebook leads are a waste of time is a fraught concept. It's not. It's like, and I've heard it throughout the industry for 10, 12 years of running multiple practices. It used to be screenings, by the way. Now people are like, oh, screening clients are much better than Facebook clients. It's like, oh, but I thought they were a waste of time 5 years ago.
You're right.
Now people are begging for those type of things. And then it was like, look, here's what you need to understand. I could talk about this forever. I absolutely believe that there's a direct correlation between the ease at which you get the lead and the quality of the lead.
Yeah.
Right. You can't have your cake and eat it. If you want to sit in your underwear at home and produce leads from your laptop while you're watching Netflix in the background, it's not going to be because these days it's so easy to opt in, right? So if I had to ask a chiropractor, what's your best source of new patients? In my experience, the one that converts the most, not necessarily the most number of new patients, but the one that converts the most, it's got something to do with live events, talks, etc. But then, are you going to have the balls and the time to do that?
Yeah.
You can't even cake and eat it. It's like, Ryan, I don't want the Facebook clients are a waste of time. Like, yeah, they're not as valuable, depending, you have measures, but then what is the most valuable is the docs that are doing a talk a week are absolutely smashing it. $1 million practices, 50% profit margins, $500,000 in their pocket a year, in their pocket a year, and they're prepared to do the one talk a week, but you're not prepared to do the one talk a week. So you can't have your cake and eat it. The reason that the ease at which you get the lead is directly correlating the quality of the lead. Because if we're honest, we've all opted, it's so easy. You click one button, auto populates, enter, no thought, etc. Now let's go right back to old school. There are docs right now that are going, they will tell me that newspaper is a waste of time. Is a newspaper a waste of time? Well, look, what's the general population age of someone reading a newspaper? It's older. Generally speaking, most of our practices, if you look at the general age of a practice, it's older. It's not TikTok, right? Don't get me started on TikTok. I don't believe TikTok is your best worth of time, use of time right now, because it's definitely not the demographic that has any money to spend on their healthcare. It's not, So I've made this mistake before, is that I've dropped a source of new patients without fully understanding it. So the reason people say that Facebook's a waste of time, etc., has got two factors to it. One, do you know your lifetime value? And are you prepared to spend to get the customer that's worth that lifetime value?
Yeah.
The person that's prepared to spend the most to acquire a customer wins. The person that's prepared to spend the most to acquire a customer wins. You can't, and that's spend and is able to spend the most. That means if you have a lot, so what's first, chicken or egg? Is it high PVA or lots of new patients first? It's both. If you've got a good PVA, you can. I don't care how saturated your Facebook market is. If you have a PVA of 30, 40, you're going to kill anyone on Facebook because you're just prepared to spend more to acquire the customer. Now, everything goes that route. Facebook, TikTok, everything. It gets market acceptance Google was the same. Google's now pay-per-click's almost back in fashion, but pay-per-click was out of fashion because it just became too expensive to acquire a customer for most. But the lucky few who understand that the person that's prepared, willing and able to spend the most to acquire a customer wins. And because the PBH is so high, they were still going, well, I'm still making 2 million% return on investment. It doesn't matter that it cost me $200 to get the customer.
Do you think a lot of chiropractors are, from a mindset point of view, are just looking at that $200 and saying, this is crazy, I just spent $200 for a customer, but they actually forget that their PVA is 20 and 20 times 50 is way more than $200. Do they just not put that two and two together?
Yeah, they do. I think it's also the fault of the marketers, Robbie, if I'm honest with you. So there's a saying which everyone in this space should learn is be the wizard, don't fall for the wizard's tricks. The wizard's tricks is the consultant standing on stage saying, how many of you hate doing screenings? How many of you never do another screening? And then you speak to that same guy off stage. I'm going to tell you the truth. They do screenings.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I'm like, be the wizard, don't fall for the wizard's tricks. So obviously the thing they're trying to sell is whatever, get new patients sitting at home in your underwear. Yeah. But it's an and conversation. It's like they also do screenings and they also do talks and they also don't want to do screenings, but they have a team that do the screenings. So be the wizard, don't fall for the wizard's tricks. Of course, it meets their end to, for instance, push a certain agenda. And that's marketing, by the way. And they're not doing anything wrong. That's marketing. But the point you need to understand is don't fall for the wizard's tricks. Be the wizard, don't fall for the wizard's tricks.
Hey docs, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you found it helpful. And if you haven't yet checked out one of my free books, New Patient Avalanche, how to get a ton of new patients in your practice, or Practice Growth Speaking Secrets, how to do lunch and learns and corporate talks, and how to get people to come to you for informational talks, click on the link below, grab a book. They're absolutely free. All you do is pay for shipping. I think it's $7.95 or something. And you get all the templates and everything you need and cool bonuses within them to fulfill those things like downloads, etc. Click on the link below, grab one of those books, and I hope it's helpful. See you soon.